Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions taking on Dwayne Haskins and the Washington football team.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Washington football team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Fielded in the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Lions making their way out, led by their 32-year-old quarterback. Hard to believe he's in season number 12 now in a Detroit uniform. Quarterback Matthew Stafford.
When I think of Matthew Stafford in Detroit, I think of numbers, and I mean passing numbers. 40,000 yards passed in his career last year before a back injury landed him on the IR after just 8 games. And to show his value to the team, the Lions lost all 8 games started by either Jeff Driscoll or David Blau. They need a healthy Matthew Stafford in order to compete in the NFC North.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defense in front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 27, Stafford will find Swift out of the backfield.
Stafford's pass.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. To throw is Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
He was taken down at the 22-yard
The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him at the end zone in this one.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Third down, here's Haskins. Well, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's the Pro Bowl punter Tress Way on to punt for Washington. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
The Lions take over 1st and 10.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Stafford on 1st down. It's caught outright, Amendola. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number 1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a...
Marvin Jones! Touchdown, Detroit! Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to take a 1st quarter lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead at 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And now it's throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a pickup of
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 3rd down, Haskins. Oh, they may have gotten lucky. Trying to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
at their own 30.
DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 4th down, the Lions trot out their new punter for 2020, Jack Fox, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Right back to him on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From just shy of midfield, Haskins, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Haskins out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Antonio Gibson.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. For Galladay, you take a look at the numbers from last week. 5 catches, 67 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Stafford with a play fake to Swift, and he'll set to throw.
Amendola with a catch. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Lions 7, Washington nothing.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Throwing deep for Galladay. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 43.
1st and 10.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Open man is Galladay, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37.
At the 37-yard line.
Stafford looks to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Stafford to his 2nd-year tight end Hockenson for a Lion first down.
29-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 23-yard line.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 14. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. 3rd down here.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
A 38-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
The score, Lions 10. Washington, nothing.
So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Greg Stroman on the return. Washington will take over 1st and 10.
The Lions defense now back onto the field. And let's take a peek at some of the defensive effort here that's helped them get this first half lead.
Yeah, I remember in school, we used to have a term for it. Break on it. When you see the ball in the air, when you see a receiver make the cut, and you anticipate it. Break on the football. Get there. Make a play. And we've seen a lot of that so far in this game.
Coverage has been excellent. They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Haskins. And on the left sideline, he caught of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Washington on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Haskins. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 36-yard line.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. Right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The man he was trying to get it to. And it's third down. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%. 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Second and 6 with the ball on the 7. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Good. Makes the score Lions 13,
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
6-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Haskins.
And he'll get this to Antonio Gibson complete.
Haskins pass.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. First down now, but that clock rolling.
And the Washington first down.
On play action, Haskins. Well, he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Haskins going to throw again. And he'll find Hall. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up.
2nd and 6. At the line.
Pressure too strong. Down he goes. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A tough spot for Haskins in Washington here. 3rd and long after that last sack.
From the gun, Haskins slings this deep from... It's caught at the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far.
This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Operating from the gun, Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Steven Sims Jr. as the first half is winding down.
And Washington has made this a 1-score game.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
Dustin Hopkins to kick off for Washington.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half. He'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can pick it up. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Not much there, only a yard.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They go play action now. Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And that will be incomplete.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So we'll change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
39-yard. That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
He was brought down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, there's zero doubt that the Detroit Lions like Kerryon Johnson's ability, but he's been dinged up a little bit in his first 2 years in the NFL, so they went out and used a day 2 pick this past year on DeAndre Swift, the rookie runner out of Georgia, hoping, I think, to pair them together and maybe send a message. But I think if Kerryon Johnson can stay on the field, he could be a productive back in the NFL.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 35-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back. Because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And goal to go.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Swift.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Ball carrier.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See who can drive the bus here again on this drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Deron Payne's one of a good number of young defensive tackles in the game. Made a nice stop there, now in his 3rd year out of Alabama.
From the 41, Stafford completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. A gain of 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
40-yard line.
Here's Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the Pro Bowler, was his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Throwing again at Stafford. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
On for the field goal, a 57-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
They go play action with Haskins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Washington.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Deron Harmon right there on the coverage.
Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Haskins, 3rd and long. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will be out of bounds as the 3rd quarter comes to an end with an INT.
The 3rd quarter with the score Lions 19, Washington 7.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Lions.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Throw left sideline here is complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
1st and 10.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Amendola again the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give it to Swift. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so...
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Good. Extra point good by Prater. And that will make this a 19-point game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
To kick off for Detroit.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
The Washington offense set to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
A gain of 9.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And this one's incomplete. Steven Sims, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he finds McLaurin. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
A gain of
First down, Washington. Haskins finding McLaurin. Now Haskins on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. And that went off the mark a little late with a throw. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
84.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7.
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On first down, it's Haskins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Haskins will set up the screen for Gibson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Again, it's Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin.
Haskins pass.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Haskins back to the air. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Haskins. He'll air this
this out deep for Harmon. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Washington on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again, here's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. And yet again, Haskins is intercepted. 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. So another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. Darren Lee there to get him down.
A gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Once again, it's Swift. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stanford. And from Galloway, it's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Takes over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Here's Haskins out of the gun. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Now Prater to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
For Detroit.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And on the return, Washington will take over 1st and 10. at their own.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll run on first down. Gibson. And Justin Coleman brings him down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll make it third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. From the gun, it's Haskins. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From the gun, Haskins. His throw caught at about the 5. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Lions 4-yard line.
Second down and goal. Haskins toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
For Terry McLaurin, incomplete. It's 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
A A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Haskins, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. One up. Now, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 92% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3. The Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Washington, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.